Good afternoon and welcome back to the Little French Homestead. My name is Sherry and today we are going to make 6 dry seasoning mix. 2 of them are new to me, but the other 4 are not. I do need 1 of them because I am running extremely low, but the other 3, because I'm using some of the same ingredients, I want to go ahead and restock some of my pantry shelves. So today we are going to be making chili seasonings, barbecue seasoning, a Southwest, a Cajun, a taco, and an Italian seasonings. So I've already prepared my countertop, and let's go ahead and dive right into this. All right, so the first one we're going to go ahead and do is the Southwest seasonings. I've got a couple of different containers right here, which I'm going to be putting them into in just a minute. But I'm going to go ahead right here, pull everything that I need. So I am making a small batch. All of these here are good for 2 to 3 pounds of like chicken, or anywhere between 1 to 2 pounds of meat. Now this is my tablespoon. I wasn't going to get out a teaspoon for this one, but you're going to get a tablespoon of garlic. We're getting a tablespoon of chili. Doing just a tad less on some of these. We're doing a full tablespoon of onion powder. Now, I don't have any smoked paprika in the house, but I do have regular paprika, and I'm just going to add that in. Now, if you have smoked paprika, please use that. Again, I don't have like chipotle. We're not a really huge spice fan, but I do have some stuff. I have cayenne, so I'm just going to add a little cayenne. I wasn't going to go out and buy chipotle just for this. We're going to use 2 teaspoons of cumin. And like I said, I do have cayenne pepper right here. And I am only going to really just use probably about 1/8. This is a very beautiful colors, if you can see that. Nice inspired Southwest seasoning. Now my family and I, we do like a medium spice. We're not really a huge fan on super hot. My son likes super hot, and one of my twins doesn't mind it, but they like the hot Takis and all that stuff, which I'm not a fan of. I don't mind a little heat, but again, I am not a big fan of super hot and spicy. I want to be able to taste the food. But if you are a fan of hot and spicy, go for it. All right. See how easy that is? Southwest. Perfect. Now we're going to do the Cajun. You know what? I'm going to use the same bowl for that. That's not a big deal. So the Cajun seasoning, these are all a teaspoon. And then when we get down, they'll go a little less than that. So a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of garlic pepper. Again, this calls for smoked paprika, but I only have regular. We're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Now, obviously, again, you like spice, add more. but we're not. And that looks like a beautiful bowl of some spices. You want to give that a nice little mix. Gonna blend all this in. It smells really good. And I will go ahead and use these up in a recipe. And I will take you along with me when I do use them. It'd probably be more or less something that we throw on the grill, like some nice grilled chicken. Okay, so now we're going to get to the ones that I don't really need too much of, but that's all right. We're going to now work on the chili seasonings. So I'm only doing a teaspoon of chili powder, but you can go a little bit more than that. You know what? Let me just do it now. Do a full teaspoon of chili powder. Ain't gonna hurt. Because the rest of this stuff is mostly between a teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. So that was garlic powder. And this is cumin. This is my oregano. And now we're working on half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon onion powder, and we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of salt and a quarter teaspoon of pepper. And then we have chili seasonings. Now I am gonna mix this all up. And I already have my jars, and I'm gonna pull my jars out over here for a second. Just so you can see, like I said, I'm not really here to make a bunch of these. I've already made a bunch. Now I keep these on my shelf, and I use these all the time. I've had to fill up some of these quite a few times already, and I had totally forgot to have you come along on the journey with me. So now we're going to do a barbecue seasonings. So with the barbecue, all of these are going to be just 1 teaspoon here. You're looking at 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon chili powder, probably should put that over there, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon onion powder, and then we're gonna do teaspoon salt and teaspoon pepper. And again, all you're going to do is give this a nice little mix up. Got some bits that are a little bigger than normal. And I'm going to add this to my jar. And then I'll just give it a good little shake. My jar has a little bit more chili powder in here than you would normally do, but that's okay, because we like I said, we like it nice, a barbecued flavor, and these are perfect for grilling. You can also probably take any one of these seasonings and add just a little bit of water into it, or oil, and pour it into a Ziploc bag and go ahead and put that in the freezer with any type of the meat you want to do. Let them marinate in there. That's going to be absolutely delicious. So the taco seasoning, that is 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon garlic, a 1/2 teaspoon paprika, a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I'll do a little bit more than that one. You got a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. You got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and then the most important ingredient is a 1/4 cayenne pepper, and then this one calls for oregano, so we're going to do also a 1/4 of oregano. And then that's it on that. We gotta mix this all up. And these are so much better than store-bought. You actually know what goes into these ingredients. And that's what me and my family like. All right, so we got 5 down, and look at that. We had all the basic ingredients. Now it will be a little upfront cost if you haven't got all of these ingredients yet, but once you go and get the ingredients, or if you're able to grow garlic and you do the onion and you're able to preserve them and put it in the freeze dryers, blend it up on your own, go for it. Same with the paprika. There's peppers out there that you grow paprika. Do that. Parsley, herbs, all of these. If you have the means to go ahead and do that, go for it. Unfortunately, I do not. Actually, I'm not even going to use that. I am going straight to my Italian seasoning. This is how much we've used on it. Also, too, this is a great Italian seasonings to use in pasta sauces. If you're going to be making your own, or even if a store-bought, you can add a good tablespoon to 2 of these inside a pasta sauce. Very, very good. The other day I had made in a video I'll link down, I did the video of 10 homemade TV dinners, and I used this on the pork chops. Absolutely phenomenal. My husband took a few over the last couple of days and he loved it. Now, I'm just pouring this in here. Well, let me go ahead and use my funnel because I know I'll make a mess. I'm just doing my little ratio, but the actual recipe for this is a 1.5 teaspoons of oregano, a teaspoon of parsley, a teaspoon of thyme, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of basil, sage, salt, and pepper. But I am foregoing that since I know what I am putting in here, and I know it's going to be quite a bit. And I got my basil right here. And then my thyme. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I like to blend my thyme up in a, I have a coffee grinder that I use specifically for blending up my spices. Just trying to think of the word. And between the thyme and the rosemary, I don't like how they're really super big. So I go ahead and grab the food process, the coffee grinder out, and I coffee grind those spices to make them a little bit more palatable when you're eating them. Now I am doing a few extra in there, and a couple of tablespoons of salt. This is pepper, and that should be good enough. And then look at those layers. Before I shake it all up, look at those layers. Very pretty. But I'm going to give this a nice little mix. I want to make sure all of those spices get very much blended in there. Alrighty, so we now have 6 homemade spices, and that way you did not have to go to the store to go get any of these. I mean, these things have lasted me so long, and we have tacos on a weekly basis. Almost every Taco Tuesday we use this. Sometimes I'll even take the taco seasoning and I'll add it into some rice. That gives me an idea. I will go ahead and make a video on some more dry rice spice mixes, and I'll show you how I use my taco seasoning inside my rice mixture. Then we got the barbecue, the chili, we have Southwest Cajun, and then the Italian blend. So I just want to thank you for visiting my home today. If you like this video and want to see more, please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, keep on cooking. And thank you very much. Bye-bye.